And boom, just like that, we're ready to get this profile started. So, again, I'm gonna have like a little side part where I like talk about like flex cards because this deck is in no way solved. The very first one is can't figure out if I want to play this, and I feel like you should be playing it in the Megalith version, but I haven't. Like I've been taking it in and out of the day just to see like does it need it, does it not need it. It's up to you guys really. I mean at the end of the day, I feel like you should play it though. Like so, keep that in mind before I start anything. You should probably play this. All right, get that out of here. Starting off with the ritual spell, just such a good looking card, man. Such a good looking card as a collector's rare. The Euro's even better looking. Foolish as the one ofs, and then getting into like the standard, like the ways that you really start off everything that this deck really is trying to do. This deck is insane. This deck is amazing. Everybody already knows that. It's not really telling you anything that you don't know. Triple Fafnir, the meltdown for the ritual mechanic. Cyber Emergency. Very obviously you play 3, and very obviously you play 3 prep. Sometimes I see weird lists where they play like 2 of it. I don't get that at all. Doesn't make sense. But I feel like you only need 1 ritual spell. And really, I don't want to play another one if it's not looking good like that. So getting into the Drytrons that are a little bit less obvious, but still pretty obvious. Alpha Thuban is very, very obvious. This one, not so much. The Zeta, the Ritual Spell Grabber, really, really solid card. I think in the pure version, I actually play 3, the ruler version, whatever the hell you want to call it. But in this version, I feel like it's just weird. Like you don't have as much space as you do in the pure version, so like you have to make the cut somewhere. I'm pretty sure that's where it is, but I can be wrong. 2 gamma, the one that grabs back. So G, gamma, grab. That helps you remember if you're ever trying to learn the deck. And then delta is the draw. So 3, 2, 2, 2. Like, and the whatever the other one that people are playing, don't play that card, man. I still don't get why people play that. I tried it for like a couple days and I was like, this card is awful. But it actually would come up in this build more than the pure version, but it's still like you don't need it. If you can't do what you need to do with the 4 names, then you're probably not doing something right. No offense. Benton and the Natasha. Eventually this card's going to get hit in some way, shape, or form, because this card, I never thought this quickly we'd have a turnaround where I'd say a card is better than Block Dragon, but I feel like Benton is better than Block Dragon. Forgive me for the mismatched rarity. Literally, I cannot find the secret to save my life, so I just pretty much gave up on it. And y'all know about Natasha. Natasha is absolutely stupid. Getting into the Megaliths, I feel like this is correct. Debated with a good friend of mine on the drive home. We were actually at Locals a couple weeks ago, and we talked about it for a while. And I really came up with this, and then I'll shout out to some of the Kansas City players. Shout out to Cookie. Shout out to a lot of the everybody Cafe. Everybody ate Cash. Cash has been closed for a little while, but we've been just talking about this version of the deck, and not so much with the players in the city, more so with my teammates. I really feel like this is actually correct, because I feel like, why do I want to keep seeing this? So I've seen people play 2 of these. Why would I want to keep seeing that? I feel like once you grab it off of Alpha, which is what you should probably do every single time, which is where this was running in to me. So I'm talking a little bit of theory and I'm doing the profile at the same time. I'm trying to do this as quick as possible. But I feel like when I grab this off Alpha, why do I need this anymore? I mean, I'm still going to get it probably because I can get it off of the fairy stuff. But then it's like, do I really need to do all that? Not really. I can make another, I can make a very, very strong board without even having to do this. But this card is so good and just destroys Zeus. I've negated Zeus's summon so many times that I have a hard time not playing this. So it's a give and take. I'm trying to figure it out still. And this deck is in no way solved because the Megalith version is the less popular version, but it's still very, very strong, and it has a high attack value, I guess. It can really go off and like take you completely out. This card is Spiral Sleeper. If you've never seen the card before, for the amount of names in your graveyard is the amount of cards you can pop, which is the stupidest thing ever because I've literally Baythored somebody for 5. This card is like Spiral Sleeper, just a little bit better than that. So full is you ritual summon and you just fly these out of your deck, and then usually the full is gonna special this. I can do a combo video in another video, but you always add this, and then like usually you'll have this in your hand, and then this will get put under something else, or it'll be fodder for another monster to put on the board, like Dagda usually. I'll get there when I get there. And then you have this, and then you set this up and blow people out of the water. If you've never seen it, that's the whole reason people are playing this version, is because Baythor is extremely powerful. The card is very, very powerful. It reminds me of Spiral Sleeper. This deck reminds me of Spiral, how powerful it is. Yeah, continuing on, this is where the deck gets murky for me, because I can't figure out how small the ratio is of this stuff. But when you got ulti orange lights, it's hard not to play. But like I can understand completely not playing any of these, like at all, which it sounds crazy to me. It sounds crazy, but then it makes perfect sense. So really, it's truly up to you. I feel like there's no like defined build of the Megalith version, because I feel like it never did anything in the OCG, so it's hard for people in the TCG to like create it out of thin air. But people have been doing a pretty good job of it. I've been watching a lot of online streams of other teams and other locals, and a couple times on DB Grinder's channel and a couple times on other people's channel. I really dig the Megalith version, but it's just like, what do you do with these? That's pretty much the crux of the whole issue. But you know, shout out to the orange lights, man. They look so good, man. They look so good. Admire them every time I look at them. The obvious cards that you have to play, the Manju and the Valk and the Dawn Knight. You guys know about Dawn Knight, that max rarity Dawn Knight, Armageddon Knight getting some sunlight. Card is just the MVP sometimes, although you will open him like it's your job if you're playing on an online platform. The Valk, you pretty much search this at some point off of the Ben 10, obviously after you do a bunch of Manju stuff, and this helps you, it gives you rank 4 access, which I'll also talk about in a second. And then Artifact Scythe. This is where the flex is for me, is that usually you're playing Lancia, at least in the pure version, you're probably maining 1. And I'm pretty sure you should do that here, or side 1 here. It's still me like working out kinks and stuff like that. But Artifact Scythe is absolutely stupid, and Artifact Dagda is absolutely stupid. And you can actually play both. And off of the Artifact Dagda, which again I'll talk about in a second, you can actually on both turns grab one and grab the other. Not that you would need to do that. It's not necessary at all. I think you can pretty much, if this is the build you want to go for, you could pretty much just deal with this. Or you know, if you're not feeling Scythe at all, because you know it's bad going second, horrible going second. Yeah, but then that's not, you know what I mean. Like this is why you do that, so that you can do this. So like that's pretty much that. And that's it for the main deck. So obviously, again, like I said when I started off, ultimateness should be somewhere in there. Figure out the space. You can pretty much find it. Getting into the side deck, I'm not going to spend that much time on it. I love evenly matched right now though, but I literally swapped these cards out again. So this is me. I swapped these cards out for Lightning Storm. I swap them out for Twin Twister. Swap them out for a Cyclone. Like online, I really am just trying to figure out what card do I like the most. That's what you should be doing anyway when you're playtesting online against good players. Make sure you're not wasting your time with bad players. Make sure you're playing against good players and seeing what you can do with certain cards, you know, so on and so forth. And then Dolphin. Too good right now, man. I really like it. I really like Instant Fusion too. I'm gonna try to be testing that as well. And then, you know, a lot of this is just whatever the hell your meta is. I don't like these that much. I'm trying to find like better cards than them, but it pretty much is what it is. You know, they're solid, but like everybody's playing around them right now. And as long as people respect them, these cards aren't quite as good. And then this card is just easily counterable with that Fucho card. You're not playing that version, and you're not playing that card in this version. So quickly into the extra deck cards that you want to think about playing. These are all good. These are all solid. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put this right back in because I hate not having Cerberus. That it's nonsense to not be playing it. This is for the Dolphin that I just showed you. And then Fucho, I just don't see the space in this build. And then getting the extra Dagda, when something activates, he triggers and sets something. So you, through the course of comboing through your turn, you set an artifact and then you just keep going. Or you can literally grab it off of the fairy searches somehow because all the artifacts are fairies. And then getting the rest of the extra deck, you got the Appaloosa. Shout out to the bear, man. You know, the Altart, they hating on the bear. You're not gonna hate on my dude, man. Y'all know pretty much all of this stuff, man. The Zeus, the Downer, the Tornado Dragon for the Scythe. This is probably the card you can probably take out because people are playing around it. It's another card that people are playing around. It is what it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My Access Code Talker is still sitting in the mail. Again, these are all the same standard cards, but my Access Code Talker is sitting in the mail. So I pretty much have been having to play without Access Code Talker and testing with friends. And I haven't missed it too much. So in rounding out, guys, pretty much, like I said, there's a lot of stuff to do with this build. Like it's still not solved, like at all. Like I don't even think I'm close to solving it. Because like the Artifact Dagda thing is really, really cool. But it's also like cute at the same time. And then like, I just don't know if it's worth really digging into this deck. It's harder to play, I'll say that. It's much harder to play than the pure version. Because the pure version, you just grab Vanity's Rule of Tribute. Or you just grab Ultimateness, set up like a Masquerena or something. If you get Drolled, you go into it. Like, it's really like streamlined. This version, not so much. Because nobody's figured it out and everybody's just kind of messing around. So, mess around with it. Let me know what you think the optimal cards are in the Megalith version are, because I don't think anybody's figured it out, to be honest. People have done very, very well with it, and it's a very, very cool version, but there's just a lot to be learned about this deck. This deck is never going to stop evolving. That's why I love it. I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you next time. YG, baby! I'm out of here.